drop this Malcolm X conversation on you, I want you to think about that. You wasn't whooped by your auntie and by your uncles and by your mother until they finally gave up and say, hey, he is Malcolm X. Just let him call himself Malcolm X. That's how much I love Malcolm X. And I study every drop of Malcolm X's life. But let me tell you something about Malcolm X that you don't know nothing about. Malcolm X, if you really love Malcolm X, then you should have a Quran in your house, right? You love Malcolm, you're supposed to have a Quran in your house, right? All right. If you love Malcolm, you ain't supposed to eat no pork, right? Right? Huh? You still eating pork, but you love Malcolm? Huh? Huh? Do you have a family like Malcolm had? Huh? Do you have a family like Malcolm had? Most of you niggas claim you love Malcolm and got broken homes. Let's talk about this. Do you have a Quran in your house, but you love Malcolm? See the type of stupidity we're talking about? Do you have a message to the black man in your house? Do you even own the Supreme Wisdom Lessons from W.D. Farad, the God that Malcolm said was God himself? Even after he fell out with Elijah Muhammad, he was still in Elijah Muhammad's house a year and a half after he fell out with Elijah Muhammad. He had already lost the case a year and a half, and Elijah Muhammad still allowed him to stay in that house a year and a half after he lost that case. Let's talk if you love Malcolm. Malcolm apologized to Elijah Muhammad. Why didn't they put that in the movie? Huh? Why didn't they put that in the movie? What? First of all, why did Spike Lee take an hour out of his movie? Let's talk about this, you love Malcolm. Huh? Why did Spike Lee and the Jews that helped Spike Lee pay for that movie? Think about this for a minute. We ain't heard from Spike Lee since then. And they call him the inside man. Because he's an inside job. You know the inside job on the Malcolm X movie? Let's talk about this. In Alex Haley's book, Playboy magazine got it. In Alex Haley's book, the autobiography of Malcolm X is quoted, and I quote, saying that a man appeared to him after he made the purest prayer in his life while he was in prison. He said that no man in history has ever prayed as pure of a prayer as he prayed that day. And he said a man appeared to him in this prison cell out of thin air with the power of the sun. And he said he later found out that that man was W.D. Farad, who they call Allah in flesh, who the Bible called the Son of Man, who the Quran called the King of Man, in the last surah of the Quran. Don't talk to me about Malcolm X and you don't know that they strategically took Master Farad Muhammad out of the movie of Malcolm X. You don't see Master Farad Muhammad showing up in Malcolm X's cell in the movie. You see Elijah Muhammad showing up in Malcolm X's cell in the movie. Is that not confusion? Because the whole thing was to disrupt the unity with Elijah Muhammad. So they lied on Elijah and they lied on Malcolm X by putting Elijah Muhammad as the man who appeared to Malcolm X in the prison cell. Knowing damn well that Malcolm X said out of his own mouth that Master Farad Muhammad appeared to him in his prison cell after he prayed to Master Farad Muhammad. Let's talk, man. If you love Malcolm X, let's talk about the love of Malcolm X. Remember, this is a man, the first name I ever accepted was Malcolm X. You're talking to a child who's always considered himself Malcolm X, so be careful when you talk about Malcolm X to a guy like me. You don't love him as much as I do. You should sit down and you should shut up. None of you, if you love Malcolm X, have you practiced Ramadan? Huh? Most of you don't even know what the hell that means. That's an Egyptian word, but you didn't know that. You didn't know that. You didn't know that Islam was in Egypt before the first pharaoh was in Egypt. You didn't know that. You didn't know that Islam is the Ray family itself. Mayat is one of the names of Islam. You didn't know that. Sit your ass down, or we're going to sit you down. Let's talk about the Malcolm X. Billy Paul from Philadelphia. You ever heard of Billy Paul? Billy Paul, the man who sings Me and Mrs. Jones. You ever heard of that? Me and Mrs. Jones, we got a thing going on. We got to be extra careful. We can't afford to build hopes up too high. same man has a song. It's a song that he wrote and he produced and he put out on this album called The War of the Gods. The War of the Gods. And he purposely put a white man there as the devil. But let's talk about what Billy Paul had to say about Elijah Muhammad and Malcolm X. Billy Paul, on his song, he has a song called Let Them In. Let them in. And he's talking about the good brothers who are FOIs with Muhammad speaks in their hand. He said, somebody's knocking at the door. Somebody's ringing the bell. Somebody's knocking at the door. Somebody's ringing the bell. Do me a favor. Open the door and let them in. Oh, child, let those good folks in. Now, why did he make that song? Because in the same song, he says, Elijah and Malcolm still are friends. That's a quote in his song. He said Elijah and Malcolm still are friends. Billy Paul was a friend of Elijah Muhammad personally, and he was a friend of Malcolm X personally. You didn't know that? Huh? You didn't know that? You didn't know that, huh? You didn't know that. You don't know nothing about Malcolm X. What's my proof? Malcolm X didn't go down in history as Malcolm X. First of all, he changed his name even after he denounced Elijah Muhammad. And once he started to reunite with Elijah Muhammad, he changed his name to tell the world he's back with Elijah Muhammad. And that's when they made him a target. What did he change his name into, niggas? Since you know so much about Malcolm X. What did he say put on his tombstone? Since you know so much about Malcolm X. What did he say put on his obituary? Since you know so much about Malcolm X, nigga. He said, put on my tombstone the name El Malik Zulu. We said, hold up, El Hajj Malik Zulu Shabazz. And Shabazz is the name that Master Farah Muhammad gave to every black person born in America. And it came directly from the mouth of Elijah Muhammad. So you're telling me that Billy Paul is a liar when he says that Malcolm X and Elijah Muhammad are still friends? Huh? That's what Billy Paul. Look up the lyrics, nigga. Even Billy Paul knew this. That's why America took his music off the radio. He had a biography. America didn't even play Billy Paul's biography. Because in his biography, he exposes that Malcolm X and Elijah Muhammad war was a lie. It didn't last over a couple of days. Malcolm and Elijah squashed that shit. Y'all don't know nothing about that. You don't know that Malcolm, out of love for Elijah Muhammad, after he apologized to Elijah Muhammad, and he realized that it was agents and it was prostitutes posing as secretaries of Elijah Muhammad, they were agents also. They lied on Elijah. Elijah proved to us that he didn't touch none of those women. None of them. No other woman until after the death of his woman. Till after the death of his wife. There's no other woman on the planet that can say she claimed the seed of Elijah Muhammad other than Clara Muhammad before the death of Clara Muhammad. And that's facts, nigga. Let's break this shit down. Don't bring up Tanetta because Supreme Minister John Muhammad, peace be upon him, Elijah Muhammad's baby brother, who also met Master Farah Muhammad and also learned 2.5 years directly from the face of God.